to all of my Libras out there. So let's get into it for my Libras. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, share the video. If you'd like to contact me for personal reading, my email address as well as the prices are in the description box below as usual. So let's get into it. Let's get into it for my Libras. Okay, so for my Libras, you have the Ace of Pentacles, the Chariot, the Emperor, the Eight of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, Moon, King of Swords, Two of Pentacles, and Page of Pentacles. So what I'm seeing here for the Libras is no major arcana that represents Libra, okay? But obviously, this is a reading for y'all nonetheless. The Ace of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Emperor. It speaks to how, that's interesting. It speaks to how some of you Libras may have been looking at a particular situation with yourselves or with a significant other completely wrong, and you had things inverted, and you only started to realize what the real deal was about this person, or maybe even about yourself, or really both, later in the relationship, and you realized the Eight of Cups, that it was too crazy for you to actually remain in. So a lot of you Libras decided to leave. And then you have the Four of Pentacles. You realize that you were sacrificing yourself. Now, you're not doing it anymore. The Four of Pentacles now represents how you realize that ultimately the stuff that you were doing was really not a very good way to actually go about being in a relationship and getting what it is that you wanted. Because the Chariot and the Emperor represents what it is that you wanted. What it is that you ultimately wanted is respect and love, and to be in a relationship with somebody that had respect for you. And the Chariot represents Cancer crabs, right? But ultimately, what it is that you did get is you got yourself into a situation where you may have been a little bit too, well, you were very ignorant to what they were doing, right? You played like you didn't see it, and you went along with it. And because you played like you didn't see it and you went along with it, that's what put you in the meat grinder. That's what got you messed up. So the Eight of Cups now is now about how things became so bad for you that when you and this other person didn't really get along, you actually decided to walk away from this person. And you're like, you know what, you couldn't do it anymore. The Four of Pentacles now represents you trying to particularly find yourself. And the Seven of Cups is you're now on the search. You're now on the soul search, some of you Libras, where you're trying to figure out, like, you know, what happened to you, right? Like some of you Libras may be thinking to yourselves that you really have become a husk of your former selves, some of you. And now some of you Libras are like, okay, well, you got to go figure out, well, what exactly is going on with you. And then the Moon and the King of Swords now. The Moon and the King of Swords now represents this being a situation for a lot of you where the Moon is, so now you really start doing some sort of internal search and research, right? Some sort of real internal work. And then you have the King of Swords realizing that there are some things about yourselves as Libras that you're going to have to, develop as, have some sort of character development. All those people who, tried to claim, tried to be so upset at me for saying these types of things. If you're getting down in this type of stuff like Kabbalah and Tarot and sorcery and things of this nature, you're going to get yourself caught up in real serious situations, because people like Aleister Crowley and like Kenneth Grant and all these other types of people, all these types of people, people like Prince, people like Michael Jackson, who invoke these types of energies are doing it incorrectly. And whether it is that they know it or not, they met their ends ritualistically because the magic was real that they were invoking, but they were doing it incorrectly. So all y'all who don't necessarily like these videos, who claim this, that, and the third, you have people on YouTube who's telling you, oh yeah, you know, I'm working with these archons. You're not supposed to be working with archons. You're not supposed to be working with these energies alongside. You're supposed to drain these energies dry and destroy these energies. You're not supposed to be working with these energies like they're your buddy, your pal, your friend. That's where the manipulation comes in. This is the reason why it is that people who work with these energies, and this goes right back to Libra, that's why it is that the people who work with these energies end up getting themselves messed up. Because ultimately, they're missing the point, which is what it is I'm trying to say to you, Libras. Don't try to play more smart than don't try to be more smart than what you actually are. Realize that you're going to have to get in touch with your feelings in a real way, because you're not going to intellectualize yourselves out of this. You're not. And the more you try, is the worse it's going to become for you. What you have to do is the King of Swords. You have to admit to yourself that you were wrong about certain things. And there are certain things about your character that you're going to have to fix. And see, the thing is that the Two of Pentacles, the right, add. But see, West is air. You invoke the West for air. But air, i.e. the West, is addition. So the things that you have to add in your life, right? Because see, the East is fire. Fire is deletion or getting rid of something, right? Xing it out, right? That's the real way. The West is air. So you have to figure out, right, by invoking the West, your own air qualities, what you have to add, what type of qualities about yourself that you have to add. So the things that you have to add about yourself, because in the South is water. South is water, right? Pointing down is water. So it's about how it is that you ultimately regain yourself. Because just as I can get into it, but just as it is that I said before, like how it is that your shells or your former selves, the South is where it is that the souls go when you either lose your soul or you want to communicate. That's where you get necromancy from. You understand what I'm saying? So you go south for that type of stuff. And what's going on here is that if you've lost yourselves, right, you've lost your soul, got some soul searching you have to do, you have to invoke the South first and foremost, which is where it is that you get the clip-off from. So you have to go south. You understand what I'm saying? And then regain your soul magically, and then you have to invoke, I guess, East, if that's what it is that you want to do. Me, I stand in the North, which is the Earth, which, anyway. So either way that I'm trying to tell you, there's going to be some things that you're going to have to add. And the Two of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles represents this being a situation where a lot of you Libras now have to decide for yourselves what it is that you want to do. The Two of Pentacles represents you trying to figure it out by ultimately, you're messing yourselves up by getting bent out of shape, some of you, by realizing that you're going to have to learn some sort of character traits that you're going to have to develop. And the Page of Pentacles represents you're going to have to learn to focus your mind on what it is that you want, right? Because if you don't, you're going to be back here, Two of Pentacles, where you're split. Now let's clarify the Page of Pentacles. You have the Sun, you have the Queen of Cups, and you have the Six of Swords, which the Sun represents how this is the case for a lot of you Libras, where you do have to build a level of confidence within yourself, but it's not about saving the world, or at least you shouldn't want to. And then the Queen of Cups and the Six of Swords represents how appropriate. It's about crossing that abyss of wanting to be the savior of other people, or wanting to ultimately reach out to other people and realize that ultimately it's about saving yourself by doing the things that you need to do for you. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Peace.